What if I told you that you could have a world-class photo shoot for basically the price of a few coffees? I know, it sounds impossible, but for small brands that have these huge ideas but, not so huge budgets, it's actually becoming a reality. So let's dive into how AI models are completely rewriting the rules of the creative game.
I mean, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old way, it's this massive gamble. It's one big, super expensive creative bet that you just have to cross your fingers and hope pays off. The new way? Well, it's all about turning creativity into a science. You're not betting the farm anymore. You're running a ton of rapid, low-cost experiments to figure out what truly connects with your audience.
Okay, so that all sounds great on paper, right? But what does the shift from high risk to high agility actually mean for your day-to-day marketing? How does it solve the real-world problems that have been holding small brands back for years? To really appreciate the solution, we've got to get real about the problem first. For small brands, the whole traditional creative process isn't just expensive. For a lot of them, it's a complete barrier to entry. And look, this isn't a list of luxuries. These are the absolute non-negotiable basics. You're paying for models, photographers, studios, stylists. I mean, the list is honestly exhausting. And the craziest part, this is all before you've spent a single penny on ads or have any clue if the final image will actually make someone buy your product. It's a huge upfront cost for a total unknown. All right, so that's the problem, but this is where AI steps in. And it's not just some cheaper alternative, it's a fundamentally new and incredibly powerful competitive weapon, especially if you're the underdog. And this just illustrates the difference perfectly. With AI, casting is completely on demand. So you need a model with pink hair and a retro diner for a TikTok ad? Boom, done. Need a plus-size model with a high-fashion look for your website? Done. In hours, not weeks. You get this incredible agility to react to trends and control costs on a per-image basis, instead of being locked into one giant expensive shoot. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I already use stock photos to save money. And look, that's a fair point. But AI offers something that stock photos never, ever can: a unique brand identity. Here's the hidden cost of stock photos. They are, by definition, generic. They're designed to work for anyone, which really means they don't truly work for you in a special way. And what's worse, your biggest competitor could be using the exact same image. And just like that, poof, any brand distinction you thought you had is gone. But with AI, it's totally different. You get to build your own visual universe. The lighting, the mood, the styling, the setting. It's not just a picture. It's a piece of your brand's DNA, and it's all uniquely yours. And this is where that advantage just gets bigger and bigger. You get fully customized styling, not just whatever some stock photographer decided on years ago. You can use the same consistent AI face across your website, your ads, your emails, which builds familiarity and trust. And, this is huge, you can create true diversity that actually reflects your specific audience, not just what's available in some limited and, let's be honest, often biased stock library. Okay, this is where it gets really, really powerful. This is about more than just saving money. This is about making smarter money. AI can transform your creative process from one that's based on guesswork and gut feelings to one that's based on cold, hard data. This quote from the source material is just everything. Seriously, how many marketing meetings get stuck in these subjective debates about which creative just feels right? AI lets you move completely beyond that. You can actually test your ideas and let your audience's behavior tell you exactly what works. And for anyone who might not be familiar, A/B testing is super simple. It's basically a science experiment for your visuals. You create version A, you create version B, you show them to similar audiences, and you just see which one gets more clicks or conversions. It's a scientific approach. You're not just buying an image anymore, you're buying data. And AI makes this whole thing incredibly easy. So you set a few hypotheses, like, I wonder if our audience responds better to a cozy, natural vibe or a bold, high-fashion look. Then you generate visual sets for each of those concepts, you run small, controlled ad tests, and you analyze the data to find a clear winner. The key here is that you're no longer guessing. You only invest your real budget after you have data that proves what works. Okay, so beyond ads, there's another huge challenge for small brands, right? It's that relentless, hungry beast that is the social media content calendar. Well, it turns out AI has a fascinating solution for that too. So meet the concept of AI UGC. And let's be super clear, this is not about faking customer reviews. Not at all. It's about replicating the aesthetic of user-generated content, that casual, authentic, selfie-in-the-mirror vibe, but with the strategic control of a studio. You get that authentic look without the logistical nightmare of constantly trying to find and manage new creators. You can even build out a whole cast of AI characters that your audience gets to know and recognize. So you might have your retro creative for TikTok, your self-care advocate for Instagram stories, and your modern minimalist for the website banners. This creates a consistent, recognizable presence that feels both dynamic and strategically brilliant. Okay, theory is great, but how do you actually start? Like, what do you do on Monday morning? Let's break down a simple, practical plan to put all of this into action over the next 90 days. All right, so in month 1, you establish your base. You pick your core AI faces, and you create a whole library to replace all that generic stock photography. Month 2 is all about testing. You run those A/B tests on your ads and start seeding your social channels with that AI UGC. Then, by month 3, you're ready to scale. You take the data from your tests, you double down on the winning visual style, and you expand your content library with total confidence. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. This technology doesn't just save you money, it hands you the keys to your own virtual creative studio. The only limit is your imagination. The real question is no longer, what can we afford? It's, what do we want to create? So, what will you create first?